What is, what was, and what will be start here with the words, in the beginning there was...
Hello, and welcome to the next episode of... Well, should I say next episode? No, that doesn't sound right.
It's the next episode. It's the next episode. Another lovely episode of Bearded Game Masters.
I don't know.
I'm your co-host, Mike, here, and this is the host, Ron, who suddenly forgot his lines.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I normally have this all figured out in my head pretty quick, and yeah, I just kind of stumble over my words. This is like the third time that we've tried this too. So as I said, this is we are the Bearded Game Masters. As always, Mike, Ron, here to do our thing and talk about some nerd stuff. So everything with real world in our lives going on and whatnot, it's been a little chaotic on both mine and Mike's end here. So we're gonna do a little bit of a recap here, if you will, for the last 2.5 weeks of gaming news, some stuff that we thought that was kind of interesting, fun, worth taking a look at, whatever. I'm gonna kick this all off on just because my boy Nathan Fillion, however you want to pronounce his last name, because I'm bad with names. All right. He okay. Hold on. Hear me out here. Anyone out there who's a fan of Uncharted, and or also happens to like anything that has Nathan Fillion in it, like Destiny or everybody knows about that Firefly TV show because that was kind of a bit of a hit with some people. I immediately think of Slither, but whatever the case is, there was a live action fan film that starred him in it as Nathan Drake, and I think I've watched it probably a few dozen times by now, and
it's really good.
It's really well done for a fan film, really well done for a fan film. But now, actually, after seeing this makes me want an Uncharted film with him playing Nathan Drake. I don't want no one else. Give me him, and I'll be good.
Well, didn't they do this to get Deadpool off the cutting room floor?
I think actually was a short that they did, and it was just leaked, and then it got huge.
Right, and the studio could ignore it anymore, and I think that's what I'm kind of hoping to do with this because, you sent me the link, I got to watch it, and I was kind of floored. I was really floored. All they needed to do was add that extra bloom effect you would get on the PS3 or PS4, and it would look like, at least to me, it looked like I was actually ready to. I was like, where's the action button? Where do I with the X button or the square? What do I do?
What's actually funny is I think it was IGN who did that, where they edited the video to make it look like a PS3 game.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of funny to watch. I'll give it that.
Well, I know IGN did the Legend of Zelda one, which I was ready all hyped for, and I found it was a April Fool's joke. Yep. Which made me hate them even more. Yep. Because it looked like it would work.
It looked like it. Like it. And also, just a side note, I think you got the staple Nathan Drake. No.
Yeah, always
in this little short film. So, just in case any of you guys who haven't seen it, it's not that long, and I guarantee you it's worth your time. Go check it out.
He's got the hair right.
He does. He does have the hair right.
That little slight pompadour sticking out the front of his forehead. He's got that. It works. All right.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Definitely worth the time.
Yeah. And if you want to play a drinking game, how many times does the old man light his cigar?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now, something that's definitely not worth anyone's time is this I had to put in here because I just thought this was funny. The probably one of the worst launches for a game I've ever seen. Now, anyone who may or may not be familiar with the Culling, it was one of the first big battle royale games, and actually, I have it on Steam, and I have it on Steam, and I mean, I enjoyed it, and I'm not a big fan of battle royales. Like, I just get bored of them. I feel it's really repetitive, and I don't know, just they don't do them for me. But that one was fun. It was different. You know,
Right.
I think the two biggest things on it that made it different was like the announcer they had felt it like it was a really bad TV show.
Like Running Man.
Yeah, yes. It had the Running Man feel to it. And also, I think, well, at least to my knowledge, it was the only one that actually had like unarmed or melee combat in any of the
traps
games.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, traps, stuff like that. But also, like you could craft spears, you know, or knives, shivs, use stuff like that, and
Yeah.
take out your opponents that way.
It was definitely different compared to the other ones, which, I have to say that PUBG is essentially now the gold star standard for arena shooters.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd go with, I mean, Fortnite's killing PUBG, last I checked.
Battle Royale shooters, I should say. Yeah. Well, true.
So, yeah. Now, when that game launched, I want to say, to my knowledge, the Culling launched, it had not, like, it didn't, like, blow anyone away, but it had a bit of a following to it, and definitely
Did it
a
actually
cult
launch, or
following
did it always just stay early access? Because I never actually, I'll be honest, I actually didn't follow that one. I've heard about it, but I didn't really follow it.
Yeah. So, no, actually it did only stay early access because the, sorry, I was taking a drink there. The developer, for some reason, just decided they were going to stop working on the first game and immediately jump into a sequel and not put anything in it that made the first one enjoyable. There was the Culling 2. It was god awful to look at. Not only was it just god awful to look at, but like all of the, the traps or the melee combat that the first one had that, a lot of people liked, myself included. Yet that wasn't even in the game. The announcer,
This doesn't sound like a sequel anymore.
well, no, not really. The announcer was basically just really bland and boring this time around, whereas in the first one, like, it had that Running Man feel to it. To get to the whole point of it, they I actually think it was like maybe 10 people or less playing this game. Like, they ended up, the developer pulled it off of Steam and was, issued apologies and was like, you know what, we're going to go back to the basics. We're going to go back to, like, the first build on, the first build on the Culling, and then, be done with it. We're going to start over, if you will. So, yeah, there was nothing like playing a battle royale game where, it was between you and two other people to figure out who was going to come in first. Like, dude, there wasn't even enough. Like, there wasn't enough people playing it that, like, you couldn't even queue for matches. You would win the match in the lobby while waiting for people.
They said that, like, when this sequel came out, at first it was like maybe like 4 people actually owned the game, let alone play it at the same time. So yeah, that's and what did he charge full price for the second one?
I don't know what the price was on the second one.
Or you charge any price, really?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure there was a price for it because I believe they offered refunds.
So basically, he makes a sequel, says, "Oh yeah, the original one you liked, I'm not going to support anymore. It's going to be this game," and the second one sucked worse for the fourth. It was like a '90s demo,
pretty much
game. It was terrible graphics and all that. And I mean, there's quality terrible graphics, but then there's just lazy terrible graphics.
Yep. That was
I mean, they're not the first ones to do this. There's I don't really call it a game. It's like a space simulator. It's a space simulation called I think it was called Universal Sandbox. Let me run this real quick. Universe Sandbox. And this is the Universe Sandbox is basically a sandbox to put planets and stars in a way and have them orbit each other, explode and collide. And if you ever wanted to take your in physics in a science class as a kid, this is the game you want to use. There was original Universal Universe Sandbox, and then for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure it was because the guy decided to rewrite the code. He immediately, I think within the year, released Universe Sandbox 2 and charged full price for that one instead, and said, well, I'm only working on this one. Well, that pissed off a lot of people, understandably. But it didn't hurt him in the long run. I mean, this is a niche kind of game, if you want to call it a game. He's kind of gone back in good graces, and he's been developing very well. But I think I'm pretty sure what happened is that he basically scrapped the code. It was too much for him, and he rewrote it from scratch. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But suffice to say, I came in, I bought the second one. I didn't buy the first one. I didn't hear about the first one. But I came in like at the tail end of the drama, and people were pissed because they paid full price for the first version, and then he's telling us, "Oh, we got to buy the second one because I'm actually working on that one now."
Oh, lovely.
That is a shitty practice. I understand that you need to replace the code. That's fine. Why don't you just update the original? Just replace it. Full re-upload.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot simpler and piss people off. But it's not the first time that the Culling 2 is not the first time this happened. I'm just saying on Steam, this has happened. Still waiting on Dota 1, by the way.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, if you're going to bring up Dota, here was another one that I find interesting now. It's called Artifact. It's basically Steam's version of a mobile card game version of Dota 2. Ugh, can't even talk.
You mean Valve?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that thing.
Valve.
Valve. Because I know what I'm talking about here. I'm not just reading things that I wrote on a screen. But that is set to. I want to say, it's set to be released on Steam the November 28th of this year, and then
it's another
sometime
digital card game.
Well, yeah, but it's not like the Hearthstone version of it, if you will. Like it has, if memory serves me correct here, it has like multiple lanes. It's got multiple lanes, and you actually like buff your character up and take down the enemy tower. So it does have a kind of a MOBA feel to it.
It's like Mojang's Scrolls.
I mean, I have no idea what you just said, but sure.
Yeah, Mojang. They're the guys who made Minecraft.
Yeah.
They actually have their own card game. They've had it for years. They actually almost got sued. Almost got sued by Bethesda because of the name Scrolls.
Okay.
Because of Elder Scrolls. Scrolls. It's actually, as far as I remember, it's actually free to play, and it's. Set of cards and scrolls, and it's the same thing. It's almost, when you look at the board, it looks like Plants vs. Zombies, only from both sides.
Okay.
You place, you play the scroll, and you put the character where you want it, and it's like at each turn, like the characters then do their attacks or whatever, and you have to destroy the other players' pillars. There's like 5 pillars, so there's 5 lanes. So like that.
Okay. So I guess,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I'll have to look up that one, for it. But I mean, I'm interested in it, so and to be fair, I kind of like Dota, so give me anything of it, and I'll play around with it.
I think this is starting to become a little saturated because the big one is, of course, Hearthstone for digital card games, and also you got CD Projekt Red's Gwent.
But that's a little different.
Bethesda, it's all the same thing. They're all card games. Let's face it, they're all card games. Then you also have Bethesda's got their own Elder Scrolls card game. All right, and now Valve wants to get on the day. Everyone wants. It's all about let's face it, it's all about the little microtransactions. All about that sweet kids money, right?
They're popular.
Yeah.
How do I word this?
Yeah,
it's a popular market right now.
Yeah. And Paizo's got it for Pathfinder too. So let's, everyone's got it. You know what? Why don't we have a digital card game?
I mean,
we need to have a digital card game.
All right, let's do this. Screw it. We got this.
Yeah, we got this. All right, we got a digital card game going. All right.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. I'll get on Unity. I'll figure it out how to do it.
There we go. We got this.
All right.
But I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a sucker for those mobile card games. Like, which is weird because I really won't play them on a PC. Like, if I'm going to sit down on my computer and I'm going to do something, I'm not going to play a card game. But damn it, you put it on a phone and I'll play the hell out of it when I'm, sitting on the john or, trying to, laying in bed when I'm not really tired and I want to just play something, till I go to sleep. So I'll definitely check it out. I mean, and also, I mean, to be fair, like the games that Valve has done, I can't really say I've ever been disappointed in. So,
well, I can make this one guarantee: there won't be an Artifact 3.
You heard it here first. Confirmed.
Yep.
So, yeah, there is that. So anyone who's fan of the mobile TCGs,
they have to have a crowbar card in there somewhere. Card with a crowbar in it.
We'll
they
see.
have to have it.
If they can put it in Final Fantasy, they can put it in this.
They would flip people like to no end. Right? You got a card in there for Gordon Freeman. I mean, I know this is supposed to be Dota 2, but you get an Easter egg card in there. Valve sneaks one, something like that in there. People are going to flip. Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because notice, I don't know this, Valve did a comic book. Well, I think it was through either Image or Dark Horse. They have an anthology comic book of all the franchises that Valve has, except for one.
Except for the Half-Life.
Right? There's a comic in there that's like Team Fortress 2, and there's Portal, and Left 4 Dead, but there's no the one that if you wanted a good comic. Now I think on Steam there is a actual free interactive comic.
Wow.
For Half-Life as a quote sequel. It's not Half-Life 3, but it's like a sequel, so to speak.
Okay.
But I don't. I'm still. It still hurts that there's no resolution.
One day.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So another little piece of information for you. This one, actually, I'm not gonna lie. This one really. This one hurts. This one hurt deep. Now I don't know how many of you. All of like 6 people that might listen to this might be fans of the Spyro remake. I was definitely one of them. I was pumped for it. I'm like, give it to me. I want to play it. I want to have fun. Apparently, only the first game is going to be actually on the disc, the physical disc when you buy it. So basically, whenever you when you buy it and you fire it up, you're going to have to, download and install, the second and third games, which I think is really effing stupid. No reason that I have to re-download a PS1 game. You should have that on the disc. Damn you. Darn it. I'm angry. Grr, fish shake. Mainly because I'm how do I word this? I'd always prefer to have the physical copies over anything digital.
Right.
And I don't have that as an option here. Like I can't say all 3 are on this disc. And God forbid if the time ever comes when like the PS4 is dead and like you can't have access to those anymore, then I have no way of playing the second and third game unless I've already
stored down.
Yeah, unless I already have them downloaded. So
yeah, that's crummy because obviously you could fit 3. And I'm assuming all 3 Spyro games came on a single CD. You could fit all 3 of them on a DVD.
Well, I mean, when they originally launched, each one obviously was its own game. But yeah, there's really no reason why that couldn't have been. All 3 of them couldn't have been put on a Blu-ray disc.
And this is a remake. You can have shared assets. Then you could have the same Spyro model and animation for all 3 games. You're not wasting anything. This could easily be on a single Blu-ray.
Exactly. And I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, if you did that and if you buy the physical copy, you could get access to the actual original game for download. So you could play like the original PS1 style game. I can see that. That's fine. That's cool.
Yes.
But you're going to have to download. They give you the disc. That's that's reeks of what me as a PC gamer has been going through, where I see a physical copy at a store now for a PC game, and I know it's not worth it because it's just a DVD with one little tiny executable to download Steam. Mm-hmm. And that's it. There's nothing to save me time to download. It's just a Steam installer with that game's logo on the disc. And in fact, they shouldn't even bother with the DVD. They should just press a CD. I'm sure it's cheaper.
Pretty much.
So that's my pain.
I get you there, though, bud.
Yeah. I have this beautiful shelf ready to, I would love to have a shelf, a room, like a Lazy Game Reviewer with all those old PC games. I've had half those boxes at one point in my life, and I'm stupidly threw them away.
Yeah.
And I look at that collection, I'm like, bless you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I have to speak for is a half of World of Warcraft box collection and the Morrowind and the expansion pack boxes, and that's pretty much it.
Back when you would actually be able to buy the whole disc,
and you actually installed
the whole game.
Yeah, and you have to install it, and you have the copy protection on it and everything. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
The if you will, the good old days of PC gaming. Yes. Those days have long since passed.
Please insert disc 2 of 5, and you swap out the floppies.
Well, I'm okay. That's going back a little farther, but yeah, you're right.
Back in my day, hey, hell, I actually had to flip over 5 1/4-inch floppies to get to the other side of the disc. Flip them. You had one game on one side, you flip it over, and it's another entirely different game altogether.
Yeah.
Haha.
And I guess, a little fun topic here, just to see where this takes us. We're going to go into the whole, we're actually really good segue on this one, but if we're going to go back in my day, I'm surprised, not surprised by this, but apparently the NES Mini was the top selling console in June, which... Good game, Nintendo?
It depends. How many of them were scalpers?
I mean, it was still the top selling one. Even if it was scalpers, I mean, it was still top selling.
Right.
That's still pretty impressive, in my opinion.
Now, I'll admit, I got really, really lucky. I was able to order one. That was the morning I had a whim. I was that June date where they released, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, so it was clearly past that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning where the scalpers like to hit with their bots and everything, trying to make an order. Amazon was already cleared out, so I was like, okay, I figured that. All right, but on a whim, I went to the Best Buy's website, and they had it, and without even considering if I had the money for it, I went ahead and plopped my money down. I tried to get a second controller, but that was already sold out. That was gone.
That didn't make it.
No, that didn't make it, and I was disappointed in that. Disappointed, but not disappointed. All right, because I was able to score the Super Nintendo Mini, and it's got the 2 controllers, so I'm all ready to go to do some true battle royale with Super Mario Kart and pop those balloons.
Okay.
But with the Nintendo Mini, there's hardly any 2-player games.
There's not many.
No, there's Mario 1 and Mario 3. And I think the Double Dragon game could be multiplayer.
Contra?
And the Super Contra game could be multiplayer. And Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bubble for life.
Okay. Bubble Bobble's on it?
Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I actually remember playing that with my brothers when we were younger. Like that had that boasted it had 99 levels, but when you actually got to the 99th level, it just started it all over at an even harder.
Well, there was
difficulty.
a boss. There was a boss, I believe, at the end. I mean, I never got that far. I think there
was a boss at the end, but when you beat him, there really wasn't an end to the game. It just started
right
over.
Back to level 0 and 1. Yeah. Yep. No, I think I played that with a friend of mine, and we got as far as maybe level 10. And we consider that an accomplishment. I mean, that was for us.
Level 10, that's it? Oh, man, you're a noob.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to the guy who capped out at level 20 on Tetris on the Game Boy. There's no level 21, by the way. You just keep going at level 20 forever. You know?
Okay.
And I went as far as when the bus got to the school. Then I had to turn it off. So, but in any case, speaking of I think the menu system is very good. I don't really bother with the save states even on the Super Nintendo Mini, because I'm old school. I mean, I'm used to you just don't save it. And I'm used to if I play Metroid, I just write down the password because I'm old like that. Same thing with Mega Man 2. I just jot down the dots. I make a little grin and jot down the dots for my password. You know. But these games, they run great. I know you have the Super Nintendo Mini, so you can answer this. I know when I play both these minis, I like to turn on the CRT filter so you get a bit of the scan line.
Every now and then I will.
It does not look right being too crisp, and the 4:3 throws me off, especially when I'm trying to play Mario. It doesn't feel. When it's pixel perfect, it doesn't feel. That's it. The pixel perfect. That doesn't feel right to me when I'm trying to jump and trying to judge distance. I'm used to it being stretched horizontally a little bit. Yeah. Because that's what the CRT televisions used to do. The old boob tubes. When I would have to hook up my Nintendo with the Pitchfork of Death RCA adapter or whatever it was, UHF adapter. My old television back in the day was a Frankenstein, because it was an old with rabbit ears UHF VHF television with a pair of screws in the back that you had to put the pitchforks in. Yeah. And so I had a coaxial cable to pitchfork adapter, and from that I hooked up the Nintendo, and then you hooked up the Nintendo. You hooked up the Super Nintendo first, then you could hook up the Nintendo behind it. If you have both systems, there was a method. If you swap the other way, it actually would the Nintendo box, the RF box would interfere. It wouldn't work very well. So you have to put the Super Nintendo first. Okay. I know I'm going in a tangent here, but the Nintendo Mini is it's 30 games. To me, a lot of them felt like just Atari rehashes, like Gladius and stuff like that, which I'm not, I was not very big on. But look, it's got the 3 Mario games. It's got Mega Man 2, which I love. It's got both Zelda games, and it's got Star Tropics, which I think is one of the most underrated games on the original Nintendo, and everyone should play that game. By the way, yeah, it's an excellent game. I don't know why they use Super Contra or Super C instead of just Contra, to be honest. I thought Contra was a much better game, more classic. Or the original Double Dragon, not Double Dragon 2. I don't know why they did Double Dragon 2. It should just been the first Double Dragon. I can understand Mega Man 2, because the first Mega Man game was... it was actually... I don't think it actually sold very well.
That I don't know.
Mega Man 2, though, that was the hot cake, and that set the standard for Mega Man games. So I'm glad that's on there. But things like Ice Climbers, it's got Metroid, which I love. The real classic Metroid, which is hard as hell. Back then I would play the crap out of it, but now it's so hard to get into anymore. Especially if you play Super Metroid so much, you're used to all the advantages you have as a character, how nimble you are. Back then you had to first of all, your shots never got that far, and whenever you started the game, you only had 30 health points. You had to so right off the bat you had to get back up to 99. So, but hey, back then when you maybe got one new game every. Let's say if your parents are generous, every 3-4 months, maybe you get a new game. That's a lot of time to kill on a single game.
Oh, that is. That's a lot of replaying.
Yeah. So, absolutely. If you can grab this, grab it. All right.
I mean, I'm still trying to get my hands on
use
it.
it to play it. If you're going to use it to play it, if you're going to sell it on eBay, shame on you. There's a special place in hell just for you scalpers. There is an absolute special place for you. So, but right now I have like, I have the two minis stacked like I used to have back in the day with my actual original console. I had this Nintendo at the bottom and the Super Nintendo on top of it. Mm-hmm. Basically just how I used to have it, back then. Because I never had a top loader Nintendo. I had the original box. So, and the controller cord is short as hell, but they want you to get up and hit the reset button to switch games.
I guess, but they could have made them a little bit longer.
Well, I mean, true. I mean, I know what they're getting at. They want you to be able to hit the button. I would like to make them longer. And if you have to get your butt off the couch or the chair to change the game like you used to do back in the day, like remember we were talking to Eric about this. That's what I think Nintendo was trying to go for. The original feel of having to physically get your butt off your couch to actually change what game you're playing. Right?
Okay. Yes.
This time you don't have to blow into the cartridge. But,
not yet, at least.
No, but I of all the games, Castlevania 1 and 2 are in this. So that's also fun. I've been playing a lot of Mario Brothers 3 though, because that's for me personally my favorite Super Mario Brothers game. I know a lot of people pick World, but I pick Mario 3.
I mean, I really enjoyed 2. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I really enjoyed 2.
Now, America 2 or Japanese 2?
What's that?
Do we talking about the Doki Doki Panic remake, which is what we call Mario 2, or Japan's Mario 2, the Lost Levels we call it?
No, what we call 2.
Okay. All
where it had like the
Dream World.
Everyone had their own like little shtick, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I enjoy that one a lot.
There you go. That for a while that was the underdog. That was like the black sheep of the Mario franchise.
Oh yeah.
I remember a lot of people hating on it because it wasn't Mario. Of course it wasn't. Just like Zelda 2 wasn't. It was something different. How can you when Zelda 2 came out? People hammered it because it wasn't a Zelda game. What do you know what a Zelda game is? There's only been 2 out, right? At the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There wasn't Link to the Past yet. Link to the Past yet went back to the first game. And that when they did that, then they set the style that you want a top view game. And then Link's Awakening follows suit. But Zelda 2 was a good game. Hard as hell,
but it was a good one.
Especially when you get to Death Mountain, like not even halfway through the story, you're already at Death Mountain. Holy hell!
Yeah,
that was rough.
Huh?
And I'm going, I go back and play in original Zelda, and I'm trying to think of how the hell do I remember where everything was. I mean, I still remember where the first dungeon is, but God help me trying to find the second one without going to the internet for a map.
Well, at that point, you know what? I think it's muscle memory at that point because you played it so much as a kid.
Yeah, it's funny because some of those things you forget, but there are things that you what? How do I remember that? Like I remember some of the gimmicks in Castlevania 2, like trying to get the tornado and everything like that to get to the secret area. Mm-hmm. You would not know that normally unless you actually had like Nintendo Power with you.
The old school Nintendo Power magazines.
Oh yeah, I still have a few of them.
Actually, I'd hold on to those. That's going to be a mint.
Yeah, the very first one I had. The first one I had was the cover art was for Secret of Mana, which is a great game, by the way. But I got it for a different reason.
Okay.
They had the full map. They had the full world map of Super Nintendo Jurassic Park.
Wow, fuck you.
Been a while since I brought up that game.
I still hate you.
Yep.
I'm not rehashing this one again.
And then my dad got me a subscription for it, so I was happy.
Ah, lucky you.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Well, I think this looks. Okay, let's
late, folks.
rewind it. We were recording super late, and I've had a long day. But
I just want to say to folks, it's like, we're not going off the air. It's just that we do this as a hobby. We have our own lives. I'm getting swamped with work and studying for various licenses that apply to my work, and that eats up my time. Plus, to mention, we could both, I think you can admit as well, Ron, we're gearing up for the new WoW expansion. So,
oh my god, I'm gonna nerd the hell out on that.
We're trying to get the last bit of stuff before the next expansion. I'm trying to get some of the new ally races. You're way ahead of me on that one.
Just FYI, be prepared for a full episode on just that. Like, I'm pumped. I can't wait to talk about it.
Spoiler alert. So I'm gonna what time I do have, because since I do a lot of the production here, not that Ron doesn't do anything, he does a lot here as well. But since I'm the one sitting here with Adobe all the time, I'm trying to focus on the podcast part. YouTube, I would love to start doing like that one episode where I had videos for everything, what topics we're talking about, and all the little jokes. I'm probably gonna just do gameplay videos for that for the time being until things sorted out with my job and I'm more free time. So bear with us, folks. This
growing pains.
Growing pains. We'll figure this out. Hopefully, maybe at some point we could be like Linus Tech Tips, and we'll have like a whole production crew and a full warehouse of people to work on something.
Yes. One day.
We
can have aspirations.
One day. Yep. Dreams.
Yep. As always, though, I want to give a very big thank you to anyone who stuck around on this, short rambling, little track that we've got here. As always, like, subscribe, follow, share, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, comments, or if you just want to holler at us. Did you say threats?
You never know. I mean,
okay. No, I'm just making sure I heard you right. Yeah, those two, I guess.
I'm sure we're gonna have a happy stalker at some point.
Of course, but always, feel free to email us at beardedgamemasters@gmail.com. And lastly, thanks again. My name's Ron.
I'm Mike,
and we will see you guys the next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.